Hello and welcome to the first writing vlog since I've given birth. I've been eyeing my book outline for weeks. Weeks now. I've been looking at it. I haven't been doing anything with it, but I've been looking at it. And what I've learned is I don't like my outline. I outlined my next book when I was 9 months pregnant, and and I remember when I was outlining it, I wasn't in love with the story, and I wasn't feeling it, and I wanted to partake in NaNoWriMo because I didn't give birth until December, so I was like, oh, I can write in NaNoWriMo, and then I just didn't because I didn't have the motivation. I thought it was a pregnancy thing, and I think it was, but I also think it was because I wasn't in love with my outline yet, and I really need to be obsessed with the story and be able to write it, especially now that I have a baby, because let's face it, when she's down for naps, the last thing I want to do is work. Like, literally, I just want to read a book. I just want to sit and read a book, and sometimes, you know what, I do, and who cares? Anyways, all that attitude aside, is I am here to basically, kind of re-outline the book. Like, I like it, but I'm not in love with it. Like, it just doesn't feel fun. Like, when I wrote Let the Rebel Fall and Meet Me at the Summit and The Trail to You and Me, I said those out of order. Anyways, when I wrote those books, I genuinely really enjoyed writing those books, and that's why I was able to outline them quickly. I was able to write them quickly. I was able to edit them quickly, and I'm gonna need to be able to do things quickly again because my time is much more limited, and like, it'll still take me a long time to do things, but I have to do things quickly when I do have the time. You know what I mean? Like, when she naps for an hour or two, I need to be as productive as possible during those nap times, you know? I have artillery now. So I've got my novel outline planner, which I was using before to outline my book and make sure I was, doing that. But I also want to reevaluate the Save the Cat Writes novel book. I also want to reevaluate the 7-figure fiction book. I was using this book very closely when I was outlining the book. So I know I have very specific story beats, but what I didn't do, I don't think I was paying attention to 7-figure fiction as much as maybe I should have. Anywho, for those who do not know, and I will leave the link to the playlist because every time I write a new book, I create an entire playlist where I put all the vlogs where I was working on that book. So this will be an additional vlog that I can add to that playlist. But if you haven't watched the other vlogs where I'm trying to outline my next book, make sure you watch those. But I'm trying to write a standalone rom-com series. And originally, I think what was going to link all the standalones together was, I think I was just going to have each book be a different best friend's story, but I think I might do a family thing instead. I don't know, but I'm not feeling it right now, is what I'm trying to get at. I don't want to ditch my entire outline, because, like, you guys, I put a ton of work into this. That's a blank page. I put a ton of work into this outline, and I had all the beats. I had it all figured out. Oh, look, I started trying to identify universal fantasies. I didn't identify any. But for The Trail to You and Me, I identified at least one universal fantasy for every single chapter. And if you don't know what universal fantasies are, make sure to check out this book, 7-Figure Fiction. I will leave it linked down below. Universal fantasies is kind of like what you as a reader or just a person in general fantasize, like something you wish you could do or experience. And it's what makes your book good. Like, literally in the book, it says, trope is your story's what it is, and then universal fantasy is your trope's why it's good. Anywho, I'm probably doing a terrible job of explaining. What I'm trying to say is I'm trying to re-outline this book so I actually enjoy it, and so I, as a writer, can become obsessed with it, so you, as a reader, can hopefully become obsessed with it. I wanted to pause this video really quickly to thank today's sponsor, BetterHelp. Now that I'm in this new phase of life, never has it been more important to put my mental health as a priority so I can be the best version of myself for my daughter. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. You can connect with one of their therapists through video chat, a phone call, or messaging, whatever makes you most comfortable. To be matched with the therapist, make sure to go to betterhelp.com/Mandi Lynn, and you can fill out the questionnaire, and you'll usually be matched with your therapist within 48 hours. And no worries, if it's not a good match, you can always try out a different therapist until you find someone who meets your needs. To get started with BetterHelp, you can go to the link in the description of this video, which is BetterHelp, betterhelp.com/Mandi Lynn. Thank you again to BetterHelp for sponsoring this portion of the video. Guys, I think I'm gonna start from scratch. So I was looking at my outline again, and I was like, oh, I really like it, but I'm not, like, obsessed with it. And then I was looking at this book and really just trying to be like, okay, what can make me have universal fantasies about the book I outlined? And just, like, I could do it, but I wasn't feeling drawn to it. And then I was like, okay, what did I want my next book series to write about? Like, what about Meet Me at the Summit made me love it so much? And that whole series, what made me love it so much? It's like the rom-com, yes, but also it was like writing about hiking, and I was like, oh my god, I love writing about characters that hike, whether they loved it like Marley in Meet Me at the Summit or hated it like Lori in The Trail to and Me. And I was like, well, I can't write an entire series about hiking again, like that's a little repetitive. What's something I love that I could write about, which is kind of where the bucket list stuff came in, because I was like, oh, doing stuff off your bucket list, that's fine. But I personally don't have a bucket list, so how am I supposed to write a series about bucket lists when I don't have a bucket list, or my bucket list is more like hiking locations, and I can't repeat things. So I was like, I like to travel. Like, there was one year, I think I rode an airplane like 5 times, which was like a ton. So I love to travel. I find it so exciting to me. So I'm like, what if instead of a bucket list, I do traveling? That's where I'm at now. And I'm like, that kind of ruins everything that I've worked on so far. But I'm like, the idea of writing like a standalone book series where the thing that links everything is just, it's the main character getting on a plane, or maybe getting in a car or train or something, traveling. The main character is traveling, and where they go to, they meet someone new, they fall in love, and it's a rom-com. Like, that's fun. Like, I've read a ton of books like that, and I would love to write a book like that, you know, and have it just be a series. Now, the question is when it comes to a standalone series, and the thing that links all these standalones together is just that it's the same general idea of the main character travels to go somewhere, meet someone, fall in love. That's the only thing that links them together. Is that acceptable? So I feel like I need to look into standalone series more and kind of see more examples of that to see like if that's okay from a publishing standpoint of things, but that's kind of where I'm leaning to right now. So that means I truly am starting from scratch, but I think that needed to happen anyways, because let's face it, I don't really, like, I look at my outline and I'm like, oh yeah, but I can't remember anything other than what I wrote down in my outline. So I think we're better off if I start from scratch. And can I outline an entire book in 2 weeks before Camp NaNoWriMo starts? Probably not. Am I gonna try? Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Okay, I've done some brainstorming. Yeah, we're starting from scratch is what I've come to terms with. So I want there to be a travel aspect, because that's what I enjoy writing about, that plus romance. So Basically, the idea is that I have 6/7 um, really popular overarching tropes. And each book would be a different trope. So we have enemies to lovers, forced proximity, fake dating, friends to lovers, second chance, opposites attract, and then the bet. And I'm not sure how I feel about that trope. If it would work in the scenarios that I'm trying to make. But basically, I have overarching ideas for each book, and then each book would be a different girl, would be the main character. And all these girls in each book all go to the same college, and they, this is what they did during summer break. And that's the story. That's the thing that links them all together. Now, originally, I was going to have the 6/7 girls all be best friends, and they all go their separate ways over the summer to travel, have their love story, blah, blah, blah. But then I'm like, ooh, if they're friends, they would be talking to each other. And if it's all happening at the same time, when they're on, like, the phone or texting, wouldn't they then, share their, like, oh, I just met this guy, oh, I just met that. That was too much interlacing. So I think the only common factor will be that they all go to the same college and they all travel abroad for the summer. So that's kind of what I'm feeling right now. Or maybe they don't need to be a college setting. I don't know. I just like writing in that age because I really enjoy writing in young adult. I like the coming of age themes, and I feel like you can still pull that off in college because you're still like a young adult, but you're adult enough to go do things alone. Like if a 16-year-old went and traveled to Paris, that wouldn't look... That's not believable. Like, what 16-year-old travels alone to Paris? But a 19, 20, even 18-year-old, well, probably not an 18-year-old, but you get the idea. Like, you can travel alone and it would be, like, normal. So that's why I was like, oh, maybe they all go to the same college and that's what links everyone together. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So I'm curious what you guys think. I think I'm going to need a lot of feedback as I write. I don't know what the exact order is, but right now I'm trying to like outline the series as a whole before I outline the individual book. And then I have to figure out which book I want to start the series with. I'm kind of thinking enemies to lovers because that's a super popular book trope. And I feel like it's really important to start the first book with the most popular trope, even though it is going to be a standalone series, but you really want that first book to be like prime, really good. And also, these are going to be clean romances because I just personally am not comfortable writing anything that's not clean. I like writing sweet romances. I like making the cheesy jokes and things like that. So, that's where I'm at right now. So I'm going to spend the next couple of days vlogging and outlining this book. I'm going to take a break for now because my little one, she's going to wake up. She's probably not going to wake up on her own. I'm probably going to have to wake her up so she'll go to bed at a decent time. But I'm actually already feeling much more excited about this, even though I don't have really any outline. I quite literally am starting from scratch. Nap? So, someone just woke up from her nap, and while she was napping, I was working on my book. Oh my gosh, yeah, Mama's working on a book. I think I have gotten past, I guess we'll call it writer's block. I have an idea for the entire series. I think officially the thing that links all the standalone novels together will be it's all people who go to the same college, and they go away on spring break, and in some way, shape, or form on their spring break, they fall in love, and each book will be a different place they travel to, and a different trope. And I think book one, because I've already started getting ideas for it, and I'm already really excited, is best friends to lovers, because who doesn't love that trope? And it will be a trip to Iceland in honor of the trip to Iceland me and my husband went on, I guess 2 years ago now. But I just love and obsessed with Iceland, so I think that plus the best friends to lovers trope will be a really good book one in the series. I'm already excited for it. I've already got the major plot, which I guess I'll say it quickly, is this girl and her best friend since childhood, which is a guy, goes to Iceland for spring break. And right before she's about to get on the plane, she sees a text message on his phone from another friend where the friend is just saying to him, like, just joking around, like, oh, make sure she falls in love with you by the end of the trip. You got this, dude. So she finds out that he has a huge crush on her. She doesn't feel the same way. And now they're about to spend a week together in Iceland. And she doesn't know if she should confront him or not. So that's the real fast and dirty plot. I have not actually plotted it out, but that's basically everything that I figured out during her nap time. And also just figured out the series concept as a whole. Oh my goodness. Let's get rid of this. But now she just woke up from her last nap of the day. So I actually feel really good about what I accomplished now. I did almost nothing. But I don't think you understand how much it was bothering me that I didn't feel passionate about the story I was trying to write. But now I'm actually excited about this. So I think I'm going to be done working for the day because I got a bunch of other stuff I have to do. But tomorrow, hopefully I start to actually outline. I forgot to continue vlogging and I need to wrap up this vlog. I did do a little more outlining. I'm not done outlining yet, but I do think I will have it done in time for Camp NaNoWriMo. So hopefully the next vlog you guys see will be an actual writing vlog, not like an outlining vlog like this one. And if there's anything like in particular you want to see in the book, or there's like certain tropes that you love or aspects of rom-coms that you love, let me know in the comments down below, because I want to like write the book that I love, but I also want to write the book that you guys will love. So I think it'd be fun to like write it knowing what you guys are looking for, so I can like include those things. But so far I'm very obsessed with this story and very excited about it, which feels so good to like have the drive and motivation to work on a book again. So I'll see you all in the next video.